What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Reselling History. I'm actually at the watch repair shop in this clip, picking up a couple watches from my guy who repaired a couple things for me. I just wanted to show you the watch repair shop. I'm trying to do more like a vlog style, show you guys in, day out of basically being a vintage watch dealer. He has a lot for sale here. I never really buy from him, but he does little repairs for me here and there. So I'll show you these two watches that I got repaired here shortly. All right, everybody, I am back home from the watch repair shop, and I do have a watch collection inside of here I want to share with you guys that I recently bought for $40. These two watches here, I just picked up from the watch repairman. Just tiny little repairs on them, and I am going to sell these. Let me show you them. All right, so first up is this vintage Casio, and this is a vintage calculator Casio. I think this is from like the early 1980s, but this is in pretty good working condition. It's not too shabby condition as well, like only minor scratches. These are usually really beat up. It is missing a button, unfortunately, but put a new battery in it, works great. I did have to get a custom pin for this. For the bracelet right here, I had to get a little custom pin. I think that cost like 30 bucks to do that. So it's definitely worth it because this is a rare Casio. As far as value wise, these can sell up to like $300 or $400. Condition is really a factor in how much it's worth. It is missing a button, and you know, you're not going to find any button unless you're salvaging a really old busted up one, using it for parts. So in this condition, and the light does work also. Those lights are usually pretty busted. You can see the light right there. But in this condition, I think I could get around $200 for it. I'm pretty confident about it. Christmas is coming up, so somebody's gonna wanna buy this. And then the other watch, I had a slight repair made to this. This is a vintage Tissot, and this is what they call, I think it's like the jumbo edition. I looked at the serial number. I think it dates from like 1947 or 8. So you're still in the 1940s era. It's a really large size. I think it's like 37 millimeter case size. So beautiful looking watch. It's got some nice patina. It doesn't look too bad, the dial. Now, one thing I noticed with this is sometimes that hand stutters, the second hand stutters a little bit. I think that has something to do with the pinion. Maybe one of you can comment down below and let me know, but surprisingly, it doesn't affect the timekeeping at all. After about 12 hours, it's like 1 minute slow, which I think is pretty normal for a watch that's 80 years old. Now, the repair I had done to it was, I think the minute hand was fallen off, so I had that put back on, and honestly, it might be stuttering after the watchmaker did that. He might have maybe tightened the pinion too tight or something. I'm not really sure, but it's still keeping good time. And for those wondering, I think it cost me like $20 to get the hand put back on there. So not too heavy of an investment, but a really cool large watch from the 1940s. All right, everybody, and I'd like to apologize. I still don't have my camera stand with me. Still kind of living from like Airbnb to Airbnb right now while we get our house situation figured out. But I still want to bring you guys some good content. So this watch collection, I paid $40 for this lot right here. I think there are a couple of interesting little watches in here, and let's see if we can maybe scrounge up some profit. All right, so it's a mix of vintage. I think there are some modern watches in here too, like this Armatron. You know, and I don't mind getting these modern watches. Like if I put a battery in here and it's running, this is an easy $25 watch. So I like selling watches to every type of customer. Those looking for modern, vintage, maybe a little higher dollar watch. That's what I like to do. And then right here we got a Belova Accutron. This is like a 1980s Belova. It's got the little LCD screen. I think it's, yeah, this is an alarm. That's why it's got those holes are actually basically speakers in the back. This is going to be a repair watch because the hands aren't even setting. It barely moved the hands at all. So it's going to need some sort of cleaning. Probably was exposed to some water at some point and has some corrosion or something like that. We got some more modern watches. Ted Baker. I'll probably lot this with some other watches. Not really a fan of these really cheap fashion brands. And right here we have a baby G-Shock is what they call it. I feel like these were really popular like when I was in high school, like 15 years ago. But if this, I'll put a battery in there. If it ends up working, it's probably like a $20 watch. And let's see what else we have. There is a diesel that's gonna be lotted together. And right here is a Nautica. You know, it's not too bad of a look in Nautica. Kind of has a little bit of a diver look to it. It is running, I think. I think it might be running, but who knows? If I put a band on this, I can maybe get $10 to $20 for that. So we'll try that out. And I wanted to pause searching through that collection really quick, everybody, to let you know I got my first sponsorship as a YouTube channel. So this was sent by Gaia Watch Company from China, and they want me to review their watch. So I'm going to be releasing the review simultaneously with this video. So you should be seeing this review of this watch on my channel. But thanks Gaia Watches for sponsoring this video. And right here we have a True Time Talking Atomic. Man, I want to say this is like it'll tell you the time. Maybe this is for people who have some trouble with their vision. I really don't know. I can't imagine it's worth a lot of money. We have a vintage Timex, and this one, it's not too vintage. It's probably from the late 90s, early 2000s. In Diglow, there's always a market for these. This one seems to be working, which is a good sign. Probably a $10, $15 watch. And we got a vintage fossil. I don't really do good with fossils unless it's like something really neat looking. This is kind of your typical fossil, so I might lot this together. And then we also have another vintage Casio quartz. Looks like a lady's watch. Really quick, I didn't realize this was a Frank Mueller style Casio, and apparently new. It's worth a few $100s. I'll sell it maybe for around $50, hopefully. I might lot that together also. And then here's our first Seiko, vintage Seiko quartz. These bracelets are usually pretty darn used up, but if I put a battery in here, it's probably a $25 Seiko. We also have a Kenneth Cole. That's another fashion brand I usually just stay away from. Another Kenneth Cole Reaction. I'll lot that together. Right here's a vintage Timex, and this is not running at all. I just wound it up, so this is going to be a parts watch. But here are the two best watches out of the lot. I saved them for last, you guys. You're probably thinking I overpaid, but these watches, I think I'm going to do pretty decent with. First up is a vintage Hallmark, and this is a self-winding automatic watch, probably from the 50s or so, but it has a really cool look to it. It's not working, unfortunately. It's going to be a repair watch, but I think it's probably like a $25 to $40 watch as it is. Interesting little brand right there. I think the bezel is, let's see, the bezel is 10 karat gold filled, which does add some value, especially with gold at an all-time high. And then lastly, you guys, is this vintage Casio. This kind of stood out to me in the photos. Now, I didn't realize in the photos how freaking dirty it was. This is going to need an intense cleaning. After doing some more research on this Casio, you guys, I actually found out it's the first generation G-Shock Casio. I think it's from 1983, and it's a pretty rare sought after watch. Here's a sold comp for, apparently one sold for $900 in really good condition. Obviously this has condition issues. I got to test it out. I'll give you guys an update if it works and what I end up selling it for if it does run. But it's a really cool, unique Casio, historic Casio find. And even if it does get a cleaning, there's no guarantee that it's gonna work. And that's all for the $40 lot, you guys. Let me know in the comments, how do you think I did? $40 is not a whole lot of money, so I think I did okay. But I really do appreciate the support, everybody, and subscribe to the channel if you're not, because I have a few vintage watch collections coming up here very soon. a few Omegas, some really nice stuff, including somebody who just reached out to me and wanted me to buy some of his watches from his collection. So stay tuned for those videos, you guys. Appreciate the support. Take care.